Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a very special episode of Easy Buckets. How you guys doing today? I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. In today's video, I got something that I guarantee you guys are gonna love, especially if you love NBA trades. The NBA trade deadline is coming up very soon, and because of it, we are expecting so many moves, so many blockbuster deals that could potentially be happening. With the NBA being so competitive this season, there are a lot of contenders that want to make their rosters better, and that's why during this year's March 25th trade deadline, I want you guys to expect the unexpected. For this video, I'm going to be talking about 7 NBA blockbuster trades that are about to happen, and I guarantee you guys this: if any of these happen, it'll just change the NBA. So if you love basketball and you love trades, you're gonna love this. But quickly, before I get on with the video, I just want to say, if you're new to the channel and you love basketball, welcome to Easy Buckets. My name is Soom, and I make basketball videos literally every single day. So be sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on post notifications to not miss any of my upcoming videos. If you watched this video and you loved it, be sure to smash that thumbs up button. I'd really appreciate it. It would help out the channel a lot. But without wasting any more time, let's talk about NBA trades. The first trade on this list is talking about Victor Oladipo of the Houston Rockets and the possibility of him joining Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo on the Miami Heat. If we go back to even last season, Victor Oladipo was actually being linked to the Miami Heat for a long time now because of the strong relationship he has with Jimmy Butler. We all know that last season, the Miami Heat went to the NBA Finals, and Jimmy Butler says himself that during this year, they'll be back in the NBA Finals. With the Eastern Conference improving, I believe the Heat cannot attain that dream and that goal if they sit back and do nothing. And that's why going for a third superstar alongside Butler and Bam Adebayo could give them a better chance. I'm gonna be honest, the Heat had a bad start to the NBA season, but now they picked it up. They are ranked as the 4th seed in the Eastern Conference, and if they want to guarantee them a good spot in the Eastern Conference, getting Oladipo would definitely help that. When talking about Victor Oladipo's situation, he's not in the best position right now. He's on the Houston Rockets, who are one of the worst teams in the Western Conference. They're the 14th seed with a record of 11-25, and with the Rockets being in full rebuild mode, they're gonna try to trade Oladipo this NBA trade deadline. They're not hiding that fact. And I believe if the Heat can offer up Andre Iguodala, Kelly Olynyk, Kendrick Nunn, Precious Achiuwa, and 2 second-round picks in exchange for Oladipo and PJ Tucker, I believe this would be a great trade for both sides. Another very popular player on the NBA trade market this season is PJ Tucker, and with the Rockets trying to trade Oladipo and Tucker, this trade is basically hitting 2 birds with 1 stone. In my opinion, I want to see Oladipo in a winning situation again, and that's why going to the Heat, who are championship contenders, could be good for him. And with the Heat losing Andre Iguodala when it comes to salary matching, getting Tucker to replace him, it would still keep the Miami Heat's depth. If the Rockets trade Oladipo, they're going to want to get a young gun, and that's why Kendrick Nunn is there. This is the ultimate trade for Victor going to the Miami Heat. The next trade on this list is my personal favorite, and that's talking about Zach LaVine joining LeBron James and Anthony Davis on the Los Angeles Lakers. If you go back to last year's NBA All-Star Weekend, Zach LaVine had an interview with Max Kellerman and Stephen A. Smith, and he was asked the question, if there's one player in the NBA you want to play with, who would it be? And guess what, guys? Zach LaVine said LeBron James. Ever since that interview, the Zach LaVine to the Lakers rumors have been sky high, crazy popular, and that's why during this NBA season, with the Bulls not being NBA playoff favorites, I want to see Zach LaVine on a winning team. Zach LaVine joining the Lakers, who are championship contenders. This year, everybody's talking about the potential finals matchup of the Brooklyn Nets against the Lakers, and with the Brooklyn Nets getting so much better this year, they got James Harden, they just got Blake Griffin, I believe the Lakers have to make at least one blockbuster deal during this year's NBA trade deadline, and Zach LaVine, in my opinion, would give them an instant championship. Zach LaVine became a first-time NBA All-Star, and look at his stats. He's averaging about 28 points per game. And if the Lakers can get somebody that can score more points than LeBron James per game, oh boy, they'll be disgusting. If the Lakers can offer up Kyle Kuzma, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Marc Gasol, and their 2027 first round pick, I honestly believe this is a realistic deal the Bulls will accept. If the Bulls are put in a position where they're going to trade their best player, they're going to want to get the best young assets and simple assets as possible. And getting Kyle Kuzma in return, it wouldn't be a bad idea, as Kuzma also has a bright future. The Bulls are having trouble when it comes to their backcourt. KCP fits in perfectly there, and that's why I believe the Bulls get young assets and backcourt depth, and then the Lakers get their third superstar to go all the way for their NBA championship. Just imagine a closing lineup of Dennis Schroeder, Zach LaVine, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Montrezl Harrell. Oh boy, guys, this team, unstoppable. The next trade on this list is a very popular rumor, and that's Kyle Lowry of the Raptors going to the Philadelphia 76ers, joining Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. With Kyle Lowry being on his final year of his contract, about $30 million, and the Toronto Raptors are currently not being put in the best position, they're the 9th seed in the Eastern Conference, the Raptors might want to think about a potential rebuild instead of possibly losing Kyle Lowry for nothing. The reason why Kyle Lowry is being linked to the Sixers is because Kyle Lowry was actually born in Philly. That is his hometown. That is where he grew up. And with Kyle Lowry getting older, he still has NBA trade value. The Raptors might want to use this as an opportunity to simply get better for the future. From what we're hearing though, Kyle Lowry does not want to be traded from the Raptors. He wants to retire a Raptor. So that's why we're talking about this rumor. People are confused what's actually going to happen. But in my opinion, I wouldn't be surprised if a trade gets done. We've seen it before where the Raptors are willing to pull the trigger. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. The Raptors traded away DeMar DeRozan a few years ago in that Kawhi Leonard trade. We didn't expect it, but of course it resulted in them getting an NBA championship. So Raptor fans, I'm gonna be honest, don't be 100% sure that Lowry is staying. If the Philadelphia 76ers can offer up Danny Green, Seth Curry, Matisse Thybulle, and 2 future first round picks, I actually believe the Raptors will accept this. Of course, if the Raptors are going to trade away their captain, their all-star starter, they're going to want to get some future assets and young guns. Getting Seth Curry and Danny Green, who are NBA veterans, can still help the Raptors potentially make the playoffs. And then, of course, getting a young gun, a young wing of Matisse Thybulle, that wouldn't be a bad idea as well. But on the Sixers side, they have Kyle Lowry, Ben Simmons, Tobias Harris, and Joel Embiid in the starting lineup. This would be a pretty tough team to beat in the Eastern Conference. The Sixers right now have a record of 26-12, which ranks them as the first seed in the Eastern Conference, and getting Kyle Lowry would almost guarantee them that first seed spot. Lowry is an NBA championship experienced player, and the 76ers, with them in hot pursuit of going all the way, Lowry would give them a big time boost. The next trade on this list is talking about Andre Drummond potentially joining Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown on the Boston Celtics. A few weeks ago, we got news that the Cavaliers and Andre Drummond have come to an agreement that they will no longer be playing together, as the Cavaliers are in full rebuild mode and they're going to try to trade Andre Drummond for any asset possible, in my opinion. When talking about the Cavaliers right now, they have so much big men on their roster. Of course, they have Drummond, they have Jared Allen, Larry Nance Jr., Kevin Love, and then of course JaVale McGee. And with the Cavaliers trying to focus their future on Jared Allen, they're going to have to try to trade Andre Drummond during this year's NBA trade deadline because they don't want to lose Andre Drummond in free agency this offseason. From what we're hearing, the Cavaliers are making a lot of calls. They're talking to a lot of NBA teams right now, and Drummond is one of the most likely players to be traded or bought out before March 25th. When talking about the Boston Celtics, the Celtics right now are in search of their front court player, in a way, their front court all-star. They've already been linked to multiple all-stars in the NBA. Earlier this week, they wanted Vucevic, but then the Orlando Magic shut down that rumor that they will not be trading Vucevic, and that's why I believe Drummond is going to be their primetime target. During this past offseason, the Celtics actually lost Gordon Hayward in that big time trade, sending Hayward to the Hornets, which gives the Boston Celtics about $28.5 million in available cap space, which means if they trade for a player during this year's NBA trade deadline, they don't have to match salary. And that's why I believe there's a perfect trade in mind to land Andre Drummond on the Boston Celtics. If Boston can offer up Tristan Thompson and a first round pick in exchange for Andre Drummond with that salary cap availability, I believe it's a win-win for both teams. With the Cavaliers right now not finding a suitable trade for Andre Drummond, this trade makes sense as they get a first-round pick and a Tristan Thompson reunion because the Boston Celtics don't want to look towards a buyout. If this trade ultimately goes down, the Celtics would have a lineup of Kemba Walker, Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Tatum, and Andre Drummond to run that interior front court. I would love this for the Boston Celtics, and I know you Celtics fans would love this too. The next trade on this list is talking about John Collins going to the Timberwolves, and right now, this is a very hot popular target. From what we're hearing, the Timberwolves are quote-unquote dying to make a move for John Collins, and they are currently in search for a front court partner to assist Cat, because right now, when talking about their front court, they need a lot of work there. John Collins is currently on an expiring contract with the Hawks, and with him rejecting their contract extension, there are so many rumors of him wanting out and him not wanting to play alongside Trae Young for the future. If the Wolves can offer up Josh Okogie and 2 future first-round picks in exchange for John Collins, I believe this makes a lot of sense, as John Collins literally only has a $4 million contract. With the Wolves right now having the worst record in the NBA, they're in a full rebuild mode, and that's why during this NBA season, they're gonna have to try to get better to give Towns a better chance next season. And then with John Collins entering restricted free agency, they can literally offer him a max contract in this upcoming offseason. And with the Wolves having some money to potentially pay him, a big three of D'Angelo Russell, John Collins, and Towns wouldn't be a bad team in the Western Conference. The next trade on this list is talking about LaMarcus Aldridge going to the Miami Heat, and LaMarcus Aldridge right now is one of the most popular trade targets. A few days ago actually, we just got some news that LaMarcus Aldridge and the Spurs have mutually agreed to part ways, and the Spurs right now are in active talks to trade him as Aldridge is on an expiring contract. Trading Aldridge to a contender makes a lot of sense for the Spurs and for the Miami Heat, as the Heat want to get some veteran assets to go all the way, and then the Spurs will get some decent return for their future for their roster. If the Heat can offer up Kelly Olynyk, Myers Leonard, and a second-round pick, I believe this trade makes a lot of sense as the Spurs get front court depth, which they need if they lose Aldridge, and then of course a future second-round pick, which is a pretty good return. LaMarcus Aldridge is a 7-time NBA All-Star, and with the Heat right now wanting to go all the way to the NBA Finals, a front court of Bam and Aldridge might just do it. And the last trade on this list is one of my favorites, and that's talking about Bradley Beal going to the Golden State Warriors, joining Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, and of course, Klay Thompson for next season. A Bradley Beal trade is very popular because the Wizards have not given him the opportunity and the best chance in a winning situation. Bradley Beal right now is still leading the league in points per game, and with the Warriors right now needing another scoring punch besides Stephen Curry, Bradley Beal could be their go-to guy and their go-to answer. The Wizards right now have a record of 14-22, which ranks them as the 12th seed in the Eastern Conference. In my opinion, they're not going to make the NBA playoffs, and I want to see Bradley Beal request a trade going to Dub Nation. If the Warriors can offer up James Wiseman, Kelly Oubre, Eric Paschall, their 2021 first-round pick this year, which is actually the Wolves. We all know the Wolves are the worst team in the NBA right now. And then another first-round pick for the future. I believe this trade would land Bradley Beal and would give the Warriors an ultimate unstoppable lineup that could easily win them the NBA championship. Imagine the Warriors lineup this year of Stephen Curry, Bradley Beal, Andrew Wiggins, Draymond Green, and Kevon Looney. And then next year, shift Klay Thompson back in the starting lineup, have an ultimate lineup of Stephen Curry, Klay, Beal, Wiggins, and Draymond. The Warriors will be a dynasty for the upcoming future. From what we're hearing though, Bradley Beal wants to be loyal and stay with the Wizards, but in the NBA, guys, I'm gonna tell you this. Anything is possible. Bradley Beal might wake up one morning and change his mind. Bradley Beal to the Warriors is more of a dream come true, but if it would happen, it would ruin the NBA. So ultimately guys, this wraps up my video for today on 7 NBA trades that are about to happen during this year's NBA trade deadline. What's most important to me is one of your thoughts. Which one of these trades do you like? Which one do you think is realistic? Which one is unlikely? Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. But other than that, take it easy, God bless, and I'll see you all next time on Easy Buckets. Woo!